Authorities in Ethiopia say that 42 armed men have been killed following a massacre of ethnic groups. Professor Mammo Muchie is a professor and South African Research Chair, Innovation Studies at Tshwane University of Technology. Thank you so much indeed for joining us. This massacre on Wednesday, there were tensions, ethnic tensions in the region. Could this have been predicted that something like this would happen?
I think it is continuing to happen. Already the ethnic cleansing and almost call it genocide has been taking place for a long time, especially when the new Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy, came to power. Since he came, there has been a specific target of what are called the Amhara people. And they, as I told you before, the foreign powers, the colonial powers, used to say there are three areas in Ethiopia that are critically difficult for us to manage. One is, they say, the imperial system, the kings of Ethiopia. They had their own imperial system. And the imperial system is connected to, they link it to God and things like that. And then the second, they say, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. The third is what they call the Amhara people. So, in fact, I told you before that there was a Roman from Rome during the Italian fascist war. There was a book by a guy called Baron Roman Parachowska. He wrote a book called Abyssinia, the Powder Barrel. He said, unless we divide and even do anything we could do, like even ethnic cleansing, anything against the Amhara, and also we also destroy the imperial system and also the Orthodox Church, then they say these things, if they are united, they will also really make Africa free, not just Ethiopia. They were saying like that. So what has happened is, I must tell you, this is very, very important, that the mission churches and others, even the colonial times, they still have these ideas that if Ethiopia, a non-colonized African country, becomes developed and successful, they really believe that this would make them, whatever they did to colonize us, they think that this will really make it negative to them. So therefore, there is Ethiopia is really under a tremendous problem. So I think at the moment, they are continuing to attack these Amhara people.
All right. So
in the area,
who is they? Who is they? Professor,
yeah?
Who is they? I mean, who did the attacking, and who were they targeting for what reason?
The main target now in the area where these people are being attacked, there is an area called Benishangul area. In that area, the previous regime called the TPLF, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, what they did was, when they created the ethnic division, they also create ethnic regional constitutions. In the constitution, they simply said each region is owned only by the ethnic group of that area, except the area of the Amhara region, where they said everybody, also anyone can have a right in that area. On all other areas, they put it like that. So what has happened is that this same system that these people created, even though now they have been removed, they say, the ethnic system they created has not been removed by the new government. So the new government, when all these things are being done, when all these killings are taking place, they are not responding actively to say the rule of law must be observed and protected, and the people must not be killed. And the people who kill them must be taken to court or taken to action. In fact, I must tell you, this is very important. when the prime minister went to this area called Metakel, this area, Benishangul area, he had a meeting with them. He told them, don't do the killings. But there were people who say that they want to kill these Amhara people who are in the area. The Amhara people were included by the Tigrayan People's Liberation Front under this regime called the Benishangul area. You see, they are included, but they don't have any rights.
Right.
What do they have? They are subjected to be killed. When he was like that, a person like that was in front of him talking to him, but the prime minister didn't do anything. And this is not good.
So who is doing the killing, Professor?
The killing is being done. They say that there was a Shimelis Bedisa, who was the regional leader of the Oromo Liberation Front. He said that in that region, he would like to reduce the number of Amhara people who live in that area. He even said that they have already reduced it to 37%, but they want to completely eliminate them. The reason why they are saying this is because they want the Amhara people to be, the Amhara people have been in all parts of the country because they have mixed with they have intermarried, everything like that, but they want to eliminate them. I don't know why. They are saying now that it is their right to attack them. So they are doing this, and the government at the moment has never said anything against these killings. They have not come out openly and said it. I am now asking them, I'm actually making a plea through your, thank you for inviting me, SABC News. I think it's very, very important they take immediate action. If not, I would like even the African Union President, our Cecil Ramaphosa, I think to really insist that this ethnic cleansing and this attack against the Amhara people should be stopped. In fact, the Prime Minister should come out very strongly and say, this is wrong. It should be stopped. And those people who do it, what we're being told is that the people who are actually doing it are even within the government. In other words, they are part of it. They are the ones that give even the weapons and everything like that to get this ethnic cleansing going. This has been going on for a long time.
Has the Prime Minister not sent federal troops there to deal with the situation?
There has not been a consistent one. That has been all that has been happening was that there has not been the way they did it with in the Tigray area. They went, in Mekelle. They have not done something like that in this area. In fact, they must do it quickly. They must strictly have a rule of law and order. And those people who did the killing, they must be identified, and they must be taken to court, and action must be taken against them. And unless something like that happens, this ethnic cleansing will continue. And it's dangerous. It's ordinary people that die. Have nothing to do with all this strange politics of ethnic division that the colonial system imposed on Africa to divide and rule. Disunited Africa will not have a future. United Africa will have a great future. United Ethiopia have a great future. Disunited Ethiopia will have no future. Why divide us, kill us? No, it's wrong.
Are there other parts of Ethiopia that the Amhara people are vulnerable as well, outside of Bengushal?
I think they have been vulnerable in the area called Wollo. They have been vulnerable in the area called Gondar. There was a place called Wolkai Tagare. It was taken. You see, areas like certain parts of the areas of Amhara areas have been taken to belong to other regions. But at the same time, the people do not have the same right, because in the constitution of the Tigray region, only it says for Tigray. In the constitution of the Oromo, it says only for Oromo. But if you take them, even in the Shoa area, part of the certain part of the Shoa was also where there are Amharas also have been included in the Oromo area. So what they have been doing is they are parceling out bits and pieces of every part of Amhara area, putting it into different ethnic regions. And in that ethnic region, the Amharas have no rights. There is no rights because in the constitution, it says only for the people who are in that ethnic group. So what it means is You take them, you put them as part of you, but you oppress them, and there's no legal rule to protect them. So what happens? They get killed and murdered. This is horrible. I think I could not believe in the 21st century, where in a place, on all places in the world, Ethiopia, which has been the country that has been an amazing example for the rest of Africa. In fact, what can I say to you? I mean, many things that have happened. Even South Africa has a great relationship with Ethiopia in the anti-apartheid struggle. What didn't we do? There's a statue here for Emperor Haile Selassie here in Pretoria. I mean, Madiba went and got military. He had an Ethiopian passport. Many things like that. Why would we, all Africans now, should really be very strongly saying what is happening in Ethiopia now against the Amhara people, who are said by the Europeans, are recognized as people. If they are united, they will be freeing not just Ethiopia, the whole of Africa. They have that capacity. We should not fight them. We should not kill them. And they are also a people, to be honest with you, they are not people who like to kill other people, the Amharas. They are not like that. They have a strong religion.
Professor, it does seem that ethnicity seems to be one of the core issues in terms of a lot of the conflicts that are taking place in Ethiopia. How can they be resolved, though?
Thank you so much for asking a very good question. What we need is, for example, recently you heard about the Tigray, the federal government war they took. And that now they say that the federal government has taken over and those guys are under control. That's not enough. The most important thing is, what did these people create? They created an ethnic system, a wrong system, an anti-African system. That has to be abolished. The ethnic federal system has to be abolished completely. The constitution based on ethnic federalism has to be abolished. Ethnic political parties have to be abolished. There should be a really human rights, civil rights matter more. Unity matters more. All right? The development of the people, the removal of poverty, all right? The well-being of the people matters more. That's what we should be doing. The education, the health of the people matters more. And we should be moving into not this kind of divisive ethnicity. We should be moving into innovation, into thinking, into creativity, into those kinds of spheres. And I think, as you rightly put it, we cannot continue with ethnicity anywhere. Look what you have done here. You have removed apartheid, the Bantustan system, and you did it very well in South Africa. The constitution, everything is at least formally excellent so far, from what I read. Very good. Practice, again, is very complicated, of course, including people, many things, or the economy. Many changes in South Africa also needs to be done, but at least the necessary condition is very good. In Ethiopia, we don't have the necessary condition. If you don't have the necessary condition, you don't have the structures, you don't have the principles, the values, all right? That removes ethnicity, that creates, the people to come together and unite and more focus on solving problems, to remove poverty, inequality, all right? Unemployment, all right? Unless we move in those guys' kind of directions, we'll always have a problem. So this government, this government must do, what they must do is remove all the wrong constitution, ethnic constitution, all these ethnic political parties, ethnic divisions, all these things, and ethnic cleansing that's now taking place, that has not stopped, is continuing everywhere, especially targeting the so-called Amhara people. And I think that has to stop now.
So, Professor, what you're almost suggesting is dismantling the whole Ethiopia project, which is premised on a federal government with strong regional powers based on these ethnicities and tribes even. That seems to be the only way. Otherwise, people won't identify with being Ethiopian. They'll identify with being Tigrayan first before they identify with being Ethiopian.
You put it very well. They must first identify they are Ethiopian, African, and human. That matters more than than dividing yourself with linguistic division. I speak Xhosa, therefore, and I speak Zulu, and I speak Bend. You cannot say like that. No, you cannot divide your people like that. You must be citizens, all right? And something like that. You must be one people, one country, all right? Something like that. So the ethnic division has to change. The constitution must change. Even now, they are thinking of making elections. I mean, they are thinking about election. I mean, the election based on this ethnic division will create more conflict, more problem. I'm sincerely telling you, we'll have more difficulties in Ethiopia if this system is not changed. It's not good to just change the region, the TPL, the Tigray People's Liberation Front. It's also important to change what they created, the system they created for the last 30 years of the ethnic division that has created all this chaos, and that is now continuing, even though the government is there. A new government is saying that they want to change, they want to do something new, but it's not happening. How can it happen if you still have the ethnic system? That ethnic system has to change completely.
All right.
Otherwise, ethnic cleansing.
All right, Professor Muchie, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, as always, listening to your insights on these very delicate situation in Ethiopia. Thank you so much indeed for your time, sir. All right, that's Professor Mammo Muchie speaking to us. He's at the Tshwane University of Technology, talking to us about the situation in Western Ethiopia. People killed, 222 fatalities so far recorded.